I've been making music damn near my whole life, and since graduating Berklee, I know so many musicians, including myself, who really struggle with imposter syndrome, and oftentimes, like, have to ask, why are we even doing this? Hi, bitch! I'm Sid, and if you know me from other places on the internet, you might also know me as Sidistry, or Sid Ashtray, because everyone mispronounces it. It's fine. I just graduated from Berklee College of Music with a degree in contemporary writing and production in the middle of a global pandemic. So my original plan was to graduate and then move back home and start a new music studio based on the local music scene. That's gone now. So while that's on hold, I started streaming and I'm making content here, and I have to really think about what was it exactly that I was trying to accomplish with that studio. Well, luckily I wrote a business plan, so I already figured that out. So my ultimate goal, my big picture dream, was to really help young, queer, underprivileged artists jump into the music scene and have a fighting chance. I wanted to give them access and resources. So what better way to do that than make content? No, but seriously, I want to come here and I want to educate y'all on this. And while thinking about this and hounding really how I'm gonna make this happen, I'm realizing two major things. One, which we're going to be addressing more in the long term, that's something that we're going to be doing little bit by bit over time, is that a lot of people don't know how to be a musician at home. They don't know how to be a musician and get work from a distance. So we're gonna work on that, especially for those of you who don't have access to things like a Pro Tools license. And number two, which we're gonna be covering today, is that a lot of people are really interested in different art forms, especially music, but they don't feel like they can do it. They feel like there's no way that they could start, and that it's really just not worth the risk. Let's talk about it. Everyone loves to watch a movie, everyone loves to listen to music, everyone loves to play a video game, and some people even love to advertise their products. But the issue here is no one really takes the time to recognize how integral art is to their life. Everyone does something that involves or necessitates art. Why don't we think it's worth our time? Well, I sent out a tweet a little bit ago where I asked everyone why they haven't invested time or energy into learning a new artistic skill. And overwhelmingly, the answer was imposter syndrome and insecurity. I'm calling you bitches out. So they have this fear that they're not skilled enough, especially not relative to other people, or that it's just not worth their time. They're just not good enough to make the art. They feel like it's not worth their time and it's not worth the vulnerability, because they're just going to wind up being bad at it and not making any money off of it. But let me tell you, it totally is worth your time. It 100% is. So if you're interested in something, especially if you're in the place that I was for a really long time, where you're just sitting there watching YouTube videos about things like music or Twitch streaming or graphic design, but you haven't really done anything to actually start doing it yourself yet, please stick around, because I think I have some things that you might need to hear. So really what we need to recognize the things that we can gain from creation, right? Because I feel like a lot of us get so caught up in the why you shouldn'ts, and everyone gets so caught up in what other better things you can do with your time and the fears that you have going into it. But really what you need is a strong foundation of understanding why we create, understanding what value we gain when we make things. So let's do it. First off, self-discovery. 100%, art helps you understand yourself, and it helps you work through some serious shit. There's a composer, her name is Clara Yanata. I got to interview her for my final project for one of my classes, my final semester. She talks a lot about how when she writes, she is exploring a lot of what is within herself. And she like cries when she's writing music, and she once had to take an 11-month break because she just couldn't take it anymore. She was very freaked out by all the things she was learning about herself. Now, you don't have to get that intense, right? Like, you don't have to have a dark night of the soul over like a hobby, but I do think there's something to be said about the value of understanding yourself and exploring yourself through means that don't necessarily involve like direct therapy. If you need something like kind of intense to like help you get more in touch with your emotions, art is like a really great way to do that. I can speak to that personally. Like, I had some really traumatic shit happen when I was younger, and art, music, kept me going not only through it, but it's helped me heal past that in times when like there's some shit I don't know where I'd be if I didn't have the art to deal with it. And like, there's a lot of people who have these experiences. There's music therapy is a whole field in its own right for a reason. There's patients with dementia who like come back to life mentally and emotionally when they hear music from their past because it's just that powerful. And people often will use like painting or sculpture in order to work through severe emotional problems. There's a lot of like really intense, really effective cognitive and emotional benefits to engaging in music and art, and I'll link some of those studies down below so you can check out all the research for yourself. More than just like the internal work, you also get like skills that you can use in other fields. This is like a very direct, very basic, very simple concept. When I started working at the Center for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at Berkeley, yes, mouthful, I know. When I started working at the office, something that came up is that they needed people who could make posters and flyers for their events. So, what do you know? My little teenage interest in Photoshop and learning graphic design in like little tiny baby ways really came in handy, and I was able to be a more valuable employee because of it. Now, of course, our value as an employee doesn't define us. Do you hear me? Your value to your capitalist overlords does not define you. There's obviously like more ways we can use the skills that we learn with art. Yeah? There's skills that you can learn that improve your quality of life. You know, if you're learning embroidery, which I know a lot of people are during the pandemic, you're then able to transfer those skills over and do things like fix your clothes if they get ripped or torn. There's just so many transferable skills. You can spruce up your living space. There's things you can do with these skills more than just make pretty thing, throw it in trash, you know? Number 3, speaking of transferable skills, you can transfer them to how you are as a person. When you make art, you learn things like persistence, patience, that there are more ways to communicate than just direct verbal communication. You can learn so many of these skills, so much understanding of the world around you, so many people skills, just by making art and by developing these sort of internal skills without realizing it, because you're just trying to make something cool. Keep in mind that making art can also serve others. You know, if someone sees your art, they can gain something, like we talked about how important it is before. They can gain something emotional, something spiritual, something really sentimental from it by seeing it, witnessing it, experiencing it. So it's something that can really bring some joy to someone else, and then they can move on their day having gained something from that experience. And I know a lot of you are going to be sitting here going, but Sydney, I'm no good at it. No one's gonna like my stuff. Shut up! Do you think that I thought that people would like watching me play video games on twitch.tv? No. I thought that it was just going to be something dumb that I sat down and did with 0 viewers for months, and yet here I was, right out the gate, getting affiliate after 7 days, and it's not necessarily because I'm good at it, but it's because it was something I was actually excited about and felt confident in for once in my life, and because I shared it with people who were very much interested in the thing that I was doing. They liked my style of doing it, even though I am by far not the best Twitch streamer. And the same thing with my music. My music certainly isn't the best, most thought out, especially my compositions. Ugh, don't get me started on my counterpoint. But people do in fact like it. I'm kind of surprised. I'm surprised that people are excited about it. The reality is that there's someone out there who's going to like the stuff you make. I mean, folk punk has a very strong fan base, but you probably wouldn't say that it's very good or by very talented people, would you? Probably not. I mean, like, I think so, but but like a lot of people say not. No matter what, no matter how objectively bad you think you are, someone is bound to like it. So just calm down. Calm down. Everything is fine. And thirdly, even if you don't share it with anyone, even if you're not directly impacting anyone because maybe you're too insecure about it, you don't want to share it with the world, that's your prerogative, there is a good chance, especially because, you know, we're living through a global pandemic right now, we're living through history. Has that processed in your little head yet? People are going to be paying attention to right now. There's a good chance that a music historian or an art historian will get their grubby little hands on your work, and it will be able to contribute to them having a better understanding of what's going on right now and what is important to us and what we're going through. You know, beyond having a phase where we really, really liked bread for some reason and then we almost ran out of yeast. You know? I think they want to know a little more than that. Listen, I know some of you still aren't sold. There's some more entrepreneurial types out there, like, for example, if you're a Twitch streamer, you probably know Devin Nash or Ashney Christ. Yes, Ashney, this is a call out. Just kidding, I love you. If you're watching this, hi. Or even institutions like the Berkeley Institute for Creative Entrepreneurship, whatever that is. Even though typically they're not outright telling you that you have to monetize everything you create, they might have inspired this narrative in your head that, like, if you're doing something, you should be making money off of it. Because you can, and money is very, very good. And because the wheels of capitalism are crushing us so hard every day, and so many of us are struggling to pay the bills, most people, including past me, are sitting here going, okay, like, great, but like, making art and having hobbies will cost me time and money that, like, could be going towards making sure that I eat something more than ramen noodles this week. So, fuck off, Sydney. And like, okay, yeah, I get it. That's like an entirely valid thought process. Like, I've been there, trust me. Especially, like, if you're struggling, like, it's very hard. But like, the thing is, if you're struggling, I'm worried about you. Voice crack, wow. This very marketable idea of self-care that's filled with, like, coloring books and bath bombs, like, we know that it's bullshit. But, like, when was the last time that you sat down and actually, like, took care of yourself, like, holistically? We're all stressed. Our brains are fucking fried from constantly grinding and trying to figure out a way to make an income, aside from the occasional depressive episode. Why do you think this is normal? You deserve at least, like, 30 minutes a day to just, like, be at peace and make something that means something to you. It's so much harder to do when you're struggling. I know. Again, I've been there. But you might find that the rest of the stress and the rest of the shit that society is constantly beating the fuck out of you with gets a little easier to deal with if you just invest the bit of energy it takes to do the emotional work that it takes to just let go of the stress for a little bit. And taking time to create things, which is still productive, but feels much less stressful and much more fulfilling, is probably a really good way to start. So again, like, I get it. It's scary to try something new, especially if you're putting your neck on the line to pay the bills. And it's really hard to consider the possibilities when, like, so many people out there have seemed to, like, make it at 19 and they're, like, crazy talented, and, like, you probably don't feel that way about yourself. But, like, I hope that me yelling at you for the past couple minutes has inspired, like, some semblance of confidence that, like, it's worth it to try to make something cool. And if you're wondering how to do that, like, I hate to do, like, a shitty call to action right now, but, like, hit the subscribe button if you're looking to do that with music, because that's what we're going to be doing here. We're going to be looking into it. So, yeah. Thank you so much for sticking around, for dealing with me being so mean to you stinkies. I really hope that you got something from this. Say something in the comments below. Give me your input. Ask me some questions. We'll have this discussion because I think it's really important to have before we even think about jumping into making music during some global crises. Thank you so much for watching. That's it. Thank you, love you, bye.